Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a tutorial for the 2x2 Ortega method. So the Ortega method is basically broken down into 3 steps. First, make a side. It does not matter about making a layer like you would in the beginning method. Then, secondly, do one algorithm for OLO. And secondly, do an algorithm called PBL, which permutes both layers. Let's get into it. First step is making a layer. It should not be that difficult to do it intuitively. I would highly recommend being color neutral, as on 2x2 sometimes if you just do white or yellow, it's very difficult, but it's very difficult to make a layer, but it's very easy to make a layer on something else. So I would highly recommend being color neutral when using Ortega. If you have one sticker here and another sticker directly beside it facing you, if you have the same one sticker but you do not have a piece facing you and you have no piece facing you on the back, if you have 2 pieces oriented diagonally and another 2 pieces here, if you have 2 pieces oriented here and the other 2 pieces facing outward, if you have these 2 same pieces oriented but they're facing out this way and paired up, if you have no pieces oriented and you have headlights on one side and the other 2 are facing outward, if you have none on the top oriented and you have headlights on both sides, and that is all of the OLO algorithms. So once you know those, you are all set for the next and final step of Ortega, which is PBL. So the way I'm going to be defining the PBL algorithms is either you have a layer, which is where all of the pieces are solved. You have a bar, which is where 2 pieces are solved but the other 2 are not. Or you have no bar, which is where there are no pieces swapped or no pieces solved and 2 pieces need to be diagonally swapped for the layer to be solved. Just a quick note, something that I forgot to mention before, is that I'm first going to be doing PBLs from a specific angle, and then after I'll be showing some alternate angles and different algorithms for if the PBL is facing in a different direction for more convenience, for extra speed. The first PBL is if you have no bar on all of the sides. You may recognize this from the checker pattern. If you have a bar on top but no bar on the bottom. If you have a bar on the top and a bar on the bottom. If you have a layer on the bottom and a bar on the top, You can just use a T-perm from 3x3 or any algorithm that swaps two corners. So you can use a T-perm, a J-perm, an R-perm, whatever you feel most comfortable with is what you can use. Okay, so now I'm just going to move on to the alternate algorithms from different angles. So if you have 2 bars in the back, then do this. If you have a bar on the top, or no, if you have a bar in the front and on the bottom, and no bar on the top, if you have no bar on the bottom and a bar on the top in the back, if you have a layer solved on the top, but a bar on the bottom, and that is all of the PBLs. So for solve number 1, in inspection, I saw that I could do a 4-move layer here, and I saw that it would give me it would give me an OLL that has no pieces oriented, which is usually not very desirable. But then I also looked here and saw that if I did a sledgehammer, I would get a soon case, but I decided ultimately that I would go with the first solution because I felt like it would take longer to do the sledge case. So I just inserted there and saw that I would get the pie case, so I went directly into that. Oh, and then I really quickly recognized that I had this PBL case and just did that and the AUF, which I had predicted. Okay, so for solve number 2, I did the white side here because I saw that there was a very easy 2-move side, and I also predicted that I would, well, I didn't really predict it, but I noticed that when I did that, I wasn't really sure, but I knew that I would either get a soon case or this case. So I executed that. I looked really quickly. I ended up doing the OLL. And then I quickly recognized, and I did the 2-bar back algorithm and AUF. So solve number 2 was another 4.23, 2 in a row. So what I did here was inspection. I looked, and my first thought was that I could do green, but I decided that I would not end up doing green because of the long solution for the first case, or the long solution for the first side. I also looked at the yellow, which I could have done that for, but I decided not to do that. And then finally I had the blue side, which I eventually ended up doing. which I solved with R2U prime, R2U, RU prime R, into this OLL case, into the 1 bar at the back, PBL. That was not very good. So here the last solve was a 455. So here in inspection, what I did was I looked for all of the sides I could make. I saw that there was a pretty good one with a bar for white and also for blue. I ultimately ended up deciding to go for blue, and here's how I solved that. I did U2, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime into this OLL case, which led into this PBL case, which was the 2 bar and the U2 AUF. And that led to a 4.34 average of 5. So there it is. There is my full tutorial of the Ortega method, including a walkthrough average of 5. So I hope you learned something from this video. After all, that was the whole point of it. And I hope that you enjoy 2x2 a little bit more and get better at it from this tutorial. Thank you, and see you next time.